This is Nagarajan. Welcome to QA Coding Express channel. In the last video, we had learned the Git basic commands. I hope you had watched the video. In case if you had not watched the video, I would recommend you to watch the video and come back for this session. In today's video, we're going to discuss more on Git advanced commands. We have around 15 commands. Let's get started right from Git fetch. I'll go to the folder structures and I wanted to tell you something. So I've created two different folders inside this Git demo. Person A folder, person B folder, and assume this person A is a different machine. I mean the local machine, and person B is also a different machine. Okay. Let's get into this particular person A and web test automation. Okay. I've opened up two different command prompts, person A and person B. Okay. Now we'll create a file, product file. Okay. Let's add a dummy content, product details. Let's add some products, mobile, tablet, laptops, something like this. I've added a file, added a content to it. Okay, now let's go into this particular command prompt and type git. Okay, see if you have traverse up to person A, so we'll have to traverse till web test automation. Okay, let me put cd web star, so it gets here, and we'll put git status. So we have added a file, product.txt. Let me add this file as well to the staging area. So we have added a file to the staging area. Now let's have a git status. So it is asking us to put the commit. Let's have a commit as well. Now I'm giving the commit message here. The product.txt is added to the repo. Okay. So the product file is added to the repo now. That's good. I'll show you the remote repo as well. Here product.txt is not available right now. Okay. So let's put a git push here. Now this file will get pushed to the remote repo. Let me refresh this URL. See, right? Product.txt, it has the content, product details, mobiles, tablet, and laptops. Okay. Now we'll do one thing. We'll jump into this particular folder, person B. I said we should consider this as a different machines, right? So person A adds a file onto this local repository and push the changes to the remote repository. Now we are moving into this particular folder, person B. I said it's a different local machine. We'll move on to this particular command prompt. Now this person is putting git status. Okay, let's get into this web folder so that we'll properly navigating into this local repository. Let's have a git status now. Branch is up to date, man. Okay, since that person A had pushed the changes, he is not aware of it, right? So we'll try to fetch the changes first. Okay, we'll put git fetch. So git fetch, what it does is it actually downloads the data, but it does not merge the changes. If you could see here, go to this. So still we haven't got that file, right? So I'm going to put git merge. When I type this git merge command, it now merges the changes. Okay, let's see that. Now you could see here this file, right? This comes from remote repo. So fetch, it just downloads the data. It does not merge the changes. Using git merge, it merges the data into the local repository. That's fine. Okay, let's move on to again person A. We'll make some changes to this particular thing. Okay, let's add this camera text to this product.txt. Okay, now I'm going to this particular person A folder. And now let me clear the command prompt. Let's add this file. Okay, now put a git status. Since this file got modified with that cameras text, right? So let's commit this change as well. Okay, cameras text is added on product.txt. Okay, we've added this. We have committed this change as well. Let's put the git push. Okay, I'm just pushing the changes to the remote repo. Okay, let's refresh this file. Okay, camera got added to this particular file. Okay, now what we'll try to do is we'll try to learn about git pull. Okay, now I'm going on to this particular person B. Okay, when I go to this particular person B, right here, if you could see, we have only mobiles, tablet, and laptops. We have the camera text will not be shown here since it is available on person A mission. Okay, now so I'm in inside person B. Now I'm going to put git pull. Okay, my expectation would be it has to fetch the camera's text from the remote repo. Let's see that. I'm not going to put any git fetch or git merge. I'm directly putting git pull. Okay, now the camera text is available here. Okay, so what it does, git pull is the command. It's a combination of git fetch plus git merge. So that's about git pull. Now we will see the most important use case, merge conflict. In this diagram, person A made some changes and pushes the changes to the remote repo. Person B, without pulling the changes from the remote repo, is trying to make some changes and pushes the changes to the remote repo. So it causes a merge conflict, and person B explicitly performing some changes on the file and is pushing the code to the remote repo. So this resolves the merge conflict. Let's understand this flow practically. Now coming back to command prompt, person A folder. Okay. Now this guy is going to make some changes. Wait. Now what we'll do, we'll have some changes here. Headphones. Okay. Making some changes onto this particular person A folder. Let's put a commit. Let's add the file and put a commit. Sorry, I'm pretty fast. Okay, let's see. So headphone text is you can put whatever message you want added on the product.txt file, but commit message should be proper. That's it. Okay, and we can push our code as well. Now I'm trying to push the code remote repo. So this file got headphones. Okay, now let's go to the person B folder. Okay, but now I'm into person B folder. Now if this guy person B, without pulling the changes from the remote repo, and he can also make some changes on the local repo, right? So he had some text, power bank something. Okay, and he is trying to push the changes to the remote repo. Let me clear the command prompt. Hit status. So if you could see here, there is some change happened on product.txt. We have added power banks text. Let's put git that git commit as well. Power bank text is added. Okay. Now when I put the commit, it gets committed. When I try to push the code, right, definitely it is going to throw some error. Let's see why it is throwing an error. Since the remote repo had got some changes from the person A folder. So that is why it is asking us to take a pull. Okay. Now the person B is supposed to take a pull. Now is trying to type git pull. Okay, let's type git pull. Now it had taken the changes from the remote repo, but we did some changes on our local repository, right? So it creates a conflict. So both the changes will be available in our local full repository. Let me open up a file. So it has to have the both the changes, our changes as well as the remote tech changes. Oh, for to resolve the merge conflict, we'll have to explicitly correct the text and we'll have to add it and comment it. Okay, let me remove all this. What I did was, let's have both power bank, headphones, everything. Okay, I've made the corrections. Now the file is ready. Now I'm going here. Let's add this file as okay. Let me put this git status. I'll show you. Now this file has got some changes, right? So it is in red color. Now we'll add this file as well. Okay, I've added a file. Let's put a commit. Recent product changes. Git push. I've added a file. I've committed a file. Let me push it. Now, if you could see here, everything will be available here. Power bank and headphones, right? Everything is available. So we have learned about merge conflict, one of the most important concept, and we've learned how to resolve the merge conflict as well. Let's move on to git amend command. Okay, let me create the command prompt. So we are going to see now git amend command. Git amend. So before I get into this, I wanted to do some changes on this particular folder. Okay. Okay. Let me create a new file and I'll show you. Going into this person A folder, web test automation. Okay. Let me create a file, a new file. Okay. Customer info. Okay, sorry, customer. Okay. So this is a customer details file. Okay. I've added a file. Okay. Now coming back to a person A command prompt. Now let's put git status and we'll add this file as well. Okay. Okay. Let me put the commit git commit -m. Now customer.txt file is added. Okay. Okay. Let me put the git log as well. Okay. One line. So this will show you the list of commits. Okay, fine. So now customer text is added. Okay. And now if I incorrectly updated the file name, now if I wish to change the file name, okay, uh, let me change this file, customer info. I wanted to have some customer info as well, name, phone, something like this. Okay. But this changes should be considered as part of this particular commit, recent commit, and it should not be taken as a next different commit. For that, we'll have to use a git amend command. Let me put git amend -m. Okay, let me add a text customer info.txt. Okay, before putting this command, we had some changes into this file, right? So what we'll have to do is, let's have a git status first. Okay. If you could see here, this file got deleted and customer info got added, right? Let's add the file first to the staging area. Okay, now the file is being added. Let me clear the command prompt. I don't want to confuse you. Git status, let me put it. Now, let's have a git log as well. Okay. Now, I wanted this change to be as part of this recent commit. Okay. But it should not be considered as a different commit. That is my intention. Okay, let me put git amend. Okay. So what we have done is we have changed the file name. File name, file is added with content. Let's put this. Okay, fine. Now, when I put git log, this commit ID gets changed to new one. Okay, but that was the last commit. See, 74D8719 got replaced with 75F96D6. Okay, so this is how we use git amend. And I'll also show you one more way. Okay, example, if you had forgot to include a different script file or something like this. It's a script file. Let me mark some dummy content here. Okay. Now you want to add this particular file as part of this recent commit. Okay, 75F96D6. Okay, yeah, like this. Git commit. Okay. Do this. Okay, let me change all this. Customer file text with script file, something like that. Okay, and now this last commit will get replaced with the new commit ID. Okay, let me put git log and show you. See, 75F it got replaced with 9AF. Okay, but if you refer the commit message, that was replaced with customer info.txt with script file. So if a person is accidentally doing some changes and you wanted to update the changes on the commit, we can do it using git amend. Okay, let's learn one more command. Okay, now I just wanted to change the script, this thing as script file. Okay, but I wanted to do it via git command. Okay, let's do that. Git mv. I'm putting this script.txt with the script file.txt, something like this. It renames a file. This file is renamed with script file.txt. Let's. Okay, it is throwing error. What is the error it is throwing? Not under version control script file. See, we haven't added that file, right? I just created a file, but I haven't added. Okay, let me add this file to the staging area. Okay. So mistake happens. You should be very, very cautious while working with Git. Okay, now we've added a command. I just wanted to rename this file. Okay, let me put the script file.txt. Okay, now this when I put this command, right, so this will get replaced with script file.txt. Let's see. See here, got replaced with script file.txt. So you can do that, and if you put git status, it says changes to be committed. Let's have a comment. Script file. Okay, that's it. I'm putting some dummy commit message. Don't do that. You'll have to properly put the commit message. Okay, git push. Now this file will get pushed to, what is that? So since, okay, we need to have some git pull. Okay, let's have a git pull. Okay, it's done. Let me put the git push now. Okay. Go here, remote repo, and if you click, see the script file.txt is being added here. So that's about git mv. It renames a file. Okay, let's see git rm as well. Okay, let me clear the command prompt. Git rm. Okay, now let me remove this file. I just wanted to remove script file from this local repository. To use git rm cached. Okay, and we'll have to put the script file name, script file.txt. It removes the file from the local repository, not from the file system. So that is the main intention of this particular command. Okay, let's put this. I put it, but if you could see here, this file will be available here. Okay, now let me put git status. It will be available in the untracked file. Now this is available in the untracked file. Okay, let's put git add something like this, and you can comment this script file is deleted. Can this now git status. But this file will not available on the local repository. It is available on the file system. Okay. If I want to remove this file from the file system itself, okay, let's do that. Let me put git rm -f. Okay. Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll create a new file and I'll show you. I don't want to confuse you. Let me put hello.txt. Okay. Now git status. Let me clear the command block. Git status. Add this file. Can put git add space dot or else with the file exact file name itself. Why? Okay. Hello.txt. Okay. Let me remove this. Okay. It got added. Okay. Git status now. Let's have a commit as well. Putting a comment here. Let's put a status. Okay, now I wanted to remove this file from the local repository as well as on the file system. For that, you have to put git rm -f hello.txt file. Okay, if I put this, then you could see this file gets disappeared here. Let me put it and show you. Okay, the file is being removed on the local repository as well as on the file system. So that's about git rm. Let's move on to git stash. Git stash temporarily saves the data without committing, and you can apply the stashes whenever you need them. It helps to maintain the working directory clean. And git stash pop, it deletes the stash once it applies. We already talked about git pull and git fetch. Let's go back to the command prompt and play around with the git stash commands. Now I'm into this folder person A. Let's move on to this web test automation. Let me create a file. I'm creating a file as file store. This takes file store details. Okay. Now moving on to this command prompt. Let's go to that local repository. Let's add this file. Now I'm not going to commit the file. Okay. Instead, we'll use git stash, which saves the changes temporarily. Let's do that. Git stash save. You have to pass the commit message here, stash message. Let's have file fs, something like this. You can give whatever you want. Okay, let's put this. The change is being saved temporarily. Okay. Okay, let me create two more files. Okay. See, once I put the stash right, this file, the file which I created, gets disappeared because it got saved to a temporary location. Okay, now let's create one more file. Okay, let's have bookstore, something like this. Bookstore details. And let me put a dummy content now for now. Okay, let's create this again. Let's add this file as well. Git add. Now the file is added. Let's have a stash. Okay, so BS. Since it's a bookstore, I'm giving BS. Again, it saved working directory and index data on main PS. Okay, let me add a new one more file. See, the file is being disappeared. Let's have a map store, something like this. Map store details. Okay, just save the file and let's go here. Let me clear the command prompt. Status. So git And okay, we have added it. We'll put git stash again. Okay, this is CMS. Okay, we have stashed this change as well. Now, if I want to see the list of stashes, I'll have to use this command, git stash list. So this will list the number of list all the stashes. Okay, so we had created 3 stashes. This is stash at 0. This is called as a stash version. Okay, now let me put git stash show. So it shows the latest stash and their changes. So latest one is MS, the map store. Let's do one thing. We'll try to apply the stash. Okay. Now, see in this folder, I'm trying to apply the stash. We had already saved the stash in temporary location. Okay. Now, for some reason, we have stored it some temporarily. Now, I want to restore the changes again back to my local repository. For that, let's put git stash apply. When I put this, the recent stash gets restored here. Okay. See, the map store file is appeared. Okay, and you can also put mention the stash version as well. Git stash apply. You can put this particular thing, stash at 1, something like this. You have to mention the stash version here. See here, let me put the comment. And now we got the bookstore as well. Okay, let's put one more. We've got all the 3, right? Okay, and likewise, you can also drop the stashes. Git stash drop. Okay, when you put this command, it drops a recent stash. Let's see. See, it drops the recent one. Okay, we have only 2 stashes. Okay, and if I want to drop all the stashes, we can use git stash clear. When I put this command, it will clear all the stashes. Right? So this is all about stashes. The purpose of the stash is to save our local changes temporarily, and whenever we need it, we can get the changes by using git stash. For example, if you are working on a main branch, okay, and you're doing some task. Once that task is done, and you are switching back to dev branch, and there you are working on some changes. If you wish to come back to main branch, you'll have to stash the changes up and down dev branch, and then you can come back to main branch. That's about git stash. Let's move on to git clean. Okay, let me clear the command prompt first. Okay, we'll see now git clean. So this is the command. It removes the untracked files. Okay, let me put the git status. So all these files which we have stashed, right? So that needs to get committed. Okay, let's do the commit first. Store file name. Listen file changes. Yeah, and then we'll get into this git clean command. Okay, now let me create a new file and show you. Order book, something like this. Okay, I've created a file, and let me create a directory as well. Let me create a file. Okay, I've created a directory and a file. Okay, let's move on to this. Let me put git status. Okay, we have 2 different things here: inventory, directory, and file. Right? Okay, let's have this command here: git clean. Okay, git clean -f. With this will remove the untracked files. For now, orderbook.txt is an untracked file. Okay, let me put it. It got cleared now. Let me put git clean fd. It removes the untracked file as well as the directory. Now removing directory. Okay, this cleans up the directory as well. Okay, I'll do one thing. Okay, let's put the git status now. Your branch is clean. Okay, let me add one more file to it. Pasting something like this. One more file, one more directory. Some dummy content here. Okay, now let's do that. Let's learn one more command. Git clean -nfd. So it lists the untracked files with that needs to be removed. So, okay, let me put that. So this would remove this AAA directory and testing.txt file. So this is untracked file, this is untracked directory. So that shows that the untracked files and the directory, but actually it is not going to remove that file. To remove the files and the directory, you'll have to use -f or -fd. Okay, that's about git clean command. Let's learn one more command, git rev list. Okay, this command helps to get the total number of commits on the repository. When I put this command directly, I'll be getting an error. So we are facing some errors. So it has to have the parameter. Well, let me put the params. Let me create the prompt rev list -count and main. This command gives a list of commits that happened on main branch. So this is the syntax. Okay, you can also specify the another branch div. I'll show you the different way to invoke this command. Git rev list can specify the max count of the commit as well. And give 2 and you can mention the branch name. So this gives the recent commit. Okay, let me put git log and I'll show you. So this is the recent command, right? So you can put max count as 2 as well. But let me show you another one. Use pretty something like this. So this gives the list of commits in a reverse chronological order. Okay, so it shows up the commit ID, the full form, and shows the author, date, and the commit message as well. Okay, so this is all about git rev list. Let's learn about git alias. Basically, git provides an alias feature. So this sets the alias for a git command. For that, we'll have to use git config. We have to use this particular command to set the alias. Okay, let me put ck for checkout. I'm creating an alias for this git checkout command. Let me create one more alias for commit command. Something like this. Git config. One more. Global alias.br for branch. Okay, so we've set the alias. So these aliases will be listed out in the git config list. Let me put that also. Okay, when you put this, you will be seeing the list of aliases that we had created. Okay, so alias.ck equal to checkout, alias.ca equal to commit, alias.br equal to branch. How do we use that aliases? Okay, let put git ck and dev. Okay, so this ck represents checkout. So we have switched to branch dev. Okay, let me put git CA. This represents branch commit. Okay, CA represents commit, and we created for branch as well, right? Git BR. This represents the git branch. So Git provides an option to create a short form for a respective Git comments. We can use if you want these aliases. Okay, that's about the aliases. So let's learn Git autocorrect option. It's not a direct command. We all are humans. We all make typos while typing with the Git commands. So Git provides an autocorrect feature to fix the typos. So let me show you. Okay, we can set the autocorrect option to be enabled using git config. I'll show you. Git config hyphen global. Okay, help dot autocorrect as 1. When we set this option as 1, okay, if I put git stats, okay, so it means it is saying you called a git command named stats which does not exist. Okay, assuming you meant status. Okay, let me put git loggy, something like this. Okay, so it git implicitly understands we are referring a git log by setting this option, right? help.autocorrect 1. Okay, let's do one thing. Let me set that option as 0, and we'll come to know how it is showing. Okay, I've set this value. Okay, I'll also show you where it will list that value. See here, help.autocorrect 0. Previously it was 1. I've right now I've updated to 0. Okay, that's fine. Now let's put git stats again. So now it is throwing an error. Git stats is not a git command. Okay, previously it was showing the git status, but right now it is failing. And let me put git loggy as well. Okay, it is not able to understand this incorrect command. Okay, so that's about autocorrect options. You just need to know various options that Git provided for us. So these commands, right, will be definitely useful when we work with real-time projects. So please be sure to understand all these commands. That will definitely help you when you're in a desperate need. Let's move on to cherry pick. It's a powerful command which picks up a command from a branch and applies to any branch. I'll tell you the two scenarios where this cherry pick will be extensively used. Let's see the first scenario. Assume if a commit is accidentally made to a wrong branch. Using cherry pick, we can pick the particular commit and apply that to any branch. Let's see the second scenario. If a developer works on a feature branch, he finds an existing bug on that particular branch. So he fixes the bug and cherry picks that particular commit and applies to the main branch of our product. So let's see this scenario practically. I'm currently into this web test automation folder. I've created a new folder called QA store releases. Under this folder, I've created different files: check code, customer accounts, order management, shipping, store locators. Okay, let's move on to the command prompt. Let me traverse to this particular file path. Okay, the command prompt. Okay, let's put the git branch and see which branch we are currently into. We are into main branch. Let me go to the dev branch. Now I've switched to branch dev. Okay, here I'm going to create a new file. Product. Let's add some dummy content to it. Product details. Put watches, phones, bags, something like that. We've added all the product details. Now let's put git status and add all the files. So we've created a new file, the product.txt, right? So let's add this file. Let's put a commit to it. Now I'm adding this file, product file, on the dev branch. branch, something like this. Okay. Now put the git log and gets the commit information. Sorry, I have to type 19. Okay. Now, so the git log shows the list of commits here. So this is the recent commit 0680B3C. Fine. So we are going to cherry pick this particular commit 0680B, and then we are going to apply it to the main branch. Let's do that. For that, let's check out to main branch. Now I'm checked out to main branch, and we are going to cherry pick this particular commit. Okay, git cherry pick commit ID. So this is the command which helps us to pick the particular commit ID from the dev branch and applies to the main branch. Okay, now you could see here, we are currently into this QA store releases. There is no file called a product. When I put this particular command right, this product file gets added here, right? So this is how we use cherry pick. I'll show you a different way also. When I open this file, right, check out, I could see some mistake happened to this file. Case checkout. The spelling mistake is here. Okay, let's go back to dev branch itself. Okay, I'm switching to dev branch. Let me clear the command prompt. Okay, now we'll do one thing. We'll change this spelling and we'll update that particular thing. Okay. Now I've just corrected the changes and I'm going to commit this file. The code file is updated. Okay. We are into dev branch. Okay. Now we'll put git log --- one line. We'll pick this particular commit ID. Okay. I've just copied the commit ID. Let's go back to main branch. Okay. Now we'll do it again. Cherry pick. I'm going to put this commit ID. Okay. Now I'll show you the file. Okay. See, we're pointed to main branch, right? That is why it is showing the mistake. Now when I put this command, now the spelling mistake will get corrected. See? So this is all about cherry pick. Let's see the git reset command. It also helps to undo the last commit, undo the stage changes. It removes the changes on the local repository, staging area, and working directory. There are 3 different kinds of git reset: soft reset, mixed reset, and hard reset. Let's see that one by one. So let me go into this for a particular folder. Okay, I've created a file called feedback1. Feedback form file. Okay, let's add this file. Commit -m feedback1. Let's put that. Okay, let's see the git log as well. But now we'll use git soft reset. Okay, git reset -soft. I'm just putting this particular commit ID. So what it does is this points to this particular commit. It tries to undo this E2B253C commit and it goes here 80B AB88. Let's see that. It's done. But if you could see, this file remains here. This won't get deleted from the local repository since it's a soft reset, right? Okay, let's do one thing. We put git status now. See here, we have undo the last commit. Now asking us to put the commit here. Okay, let's commit this change as well. We have removed this file, right? Let me put feedback file is removed, something like this. Okay, let me put its status now. Okay, CLS. Let me do one thing. I'll create one more file called feedback2. Okay, let's don't put any content to it. That's fine. Now we'll put git status here. We'll add this file also. Git commit hyphen yeah. Okay, feedback to file is added. That's fine. Now put git log p. We'll try to point this to this particular commit. Checkout file is added. Okay, we'll use a git reset hyphen mixed. We'll try to traverse to this particular commit. Now it helps to undo the staged changes. Let's see that. Okay, and we'll put git status now. See, feedback 1 and feedback 2. So here it remains here. Okay, this won't get removed here, but it is in these two files are in now untracked file. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll put we'll create one more file, and you'll come to know. Okay, I've created another file. Let's put CLS, and we'll go into this. We'll try to add this file also. Git commit hyphen yeah, feedback 3 as well. Okay, we've added the file, and let's see the git log as well. Okay, now we are into the, we have created this file, right? We'll try to go into this commit. Okay, this time we'll put git reset hard. Okay, let me put this particular commit. Checkout file is updated. Okay, now when I put this, now head is now pointing at 80B-AB88. Let's put git status, and now all these three files, right, this will be removed on the local repository. I mean on the staging area as well as on the working directory. Okay, let's see that. Right, all those files were removed. So this is all about git reset. One more command, git reflog. This basically it shows the complete history of the local repository. I mean the chronological history of a local repo. Okay, let me put git reflog hyphen relative date. When I put this command, you will see the entire information. So right from cloning, it gives information about the commit, checkout details, and cherry pick. So these are all the operations that we have performed on this particular repo, right? And I'll show you the another way. We'll put the git reflog on particular branch as well. So this basically gives information about the particular branch, main branch. You can put dev as well. Also, you can put head. So this brings us the complete history. So this is all about git reflog. I don't want to bore you guys. Let's move on to another command. Okay, let me clear the command prompt and git blame. So don't blame me. If I put this particular command right directly, we'll be seeing some errors. So we'll have to pass the file name to it. Let me put the file name. Let's put some product.txt, something like this. Okay, so this command, right, it describes a modification on each line of a file. It basically helps to discover who changed a line in a file. So the Nagarajan Sai, right, this person made some changes on this particular file. So this is all about git blame command. With this, we have come to the end of the session. So far, we have learned a lot of git commands. I'm sure these commands will be very, very helpful while you're working on a project. I've been putting more efforts on delivering the quality content, so please make use of them. All the very best. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to my channel. Take care. Bye-bye.